supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in Santa Rosa. I am Reverend Russ Laguerre. I'm your assistant minister here today. And can we give some more love to our fabulous band this morning? And if you happen to be here for the first time, we especially want to welcome you. And if it turns out that you are new to our center and you have questions about what's happening here, we have a website, CSLSR.org, and that is filled with all sorts of useful information. In fact, everything that's going on here at our center you can find on that website all in one place. And there's a really convenient place there where you can find it all, and it's our monthly bulletin. And if you click on that photo of the old-fashioned typewriter, we remember what those look like, right? Okay. If you click on that, that has our monthly bulletin, which is a summary of everything that's happening here at our center. So if you want to get plugged into things outside of our Sunday services, it's a really great way to know everything that's happening. We also have a blue welcome packet that's available for you at the little table outside across from the quilt in the social hall. And that has a summary of all of our beliefs, everything that we teach here, that we're all about at the center. So if you're trying to find out what is it that we do here, that's also a really wonderful resource. We also have a youth and family program here at our center for your newborns and your toddlers, your elementary and middle schoolers, and your teenagers. In fact, our teenagers are going to be going to teen camp in, about a month? Yeah, that's pretty amazing because it's been about 3 years, I think, since we've done teen camp. So our youth program helps to get your children and grandchildren plugged into spiritual community and to figure out what their spiritual path looks like, which I wish I would have had when I was growing up. So I'm so grateful that we have that here. And if you have any questions about our youth program, or you'd like to share your services as a spiritual adult to help to guide and create a safe place for our kids, you can talk to Jennifer Caldwell. She's here today. You'll actually hear from her after our service concludes today. She'll tell us all about what's been going on at our youth and family program. You can also send an email if you're online to youth@cslsr.org. Maybe you're not here today, and that's okay. You can get plugged into the youth program that way too. We also have spiritual education here at our center. In fact, that's part of our core mission, is offering spiritual education. And I'm delighted to let you know that we have our January through June 2024 education catalog available for you, and that's out in the social hall as well. So if you're wanting to find the perfect class to take in the next 6 months, everything that we're going to offer is there. And I'm really proud that we put that together. It's been such a great resource, and I hope you will take that home with you today. Now, I'd like to move us into our vision and mission here as a community, and I invite you to speak this vision and mission along with me. The Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that promotes global transformation through personal transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. We are motivated by a compelling vision of a healthy, loving world, which we call the global vision. This vision inspires us to bring the gifts of compassion, integrity, and loving kindness to the world through our programs and teaching. Together, we are helping create a world that works for everyone. And we follow this vision through our 5 core spiritual practices. And would you please read those out loud with me? Spiritual study, affirmative prayer, meditation, selfless service, and spiritual circulation. Now, one of the ways that we show our love for and to one another here at the center is through flowers. And today's flower dedication is from Nancy Emily Stetson, and she says, I wish to express my deep appreciation to the entire CSLSR community for holding my spiritual home together through thick and thin through the past 15 years of my life. Whether in person or remotely, it has been my anchor through sometimes calm and sometimes stormy weather. So thank you, Nancy, for sharing that with us today. And Nancy's flower dedication gets me thinking about all of the wonderful things that we have done in this past year, and it's been a lot, y'all. And I have to share my love for all of the staff here who have worked so hard to bring us so many of these wonderful experiences. And the first person I want to acknowledge is the fabulous Linda Han, our fearless Chief Operating Officer. And she shows up here every single day with a big smile on her face and, of course, a plan to figure out how we're going to move forward. And then, of course, there is the wonderful Christopher Fritchie, who always knows the perfect song for all of our themes and our talks and our events. I mean, it's like he's psychic. And I couldn't ever forget about Mitzi Hughes, our dedicated master of attention to detail for our finances. And then there's the William Abel, we all know and love, our facility manager, who, if I had $1 for every leak that he's fixed here, I'd be a wealthy, wealthy man. And we have our incredible sound and video team, comprised of Jeff Basham, Paul Saran, Carrie Manwiller, Ryan Sievert, who you all here in the audience don't usually see them. They're up in the booth, but they're always making a sound and look so good. And I also have to thank our Chief Communication Officer, Alan Yeager, who is a volunteer, but he's a full-time volunteer on our staff. And he's responsible for that website I just told you about and pretty much every piece of printed information that you find here, which is a lot. And he's got an incredible eye for detail. I appreciate that so much about him. And then we have our youth coordinator, Jennifer Caldwell, who has, through so much hard work and effort, brought back our youth and family program in such a tremendous way. It's really wonderful to witness that, Jennifer, so thank you. And then we have our staff ministers here who are always sharing their love with us. We've got Reverend Sciota Bell, our spiritual support minister, who's always been there for us through all of those challenging times. And we've got Reverend Joyce Kinzel, who helps coordinate our Sunday welcome team. Reverend Tara Steele, who is leading our new Advanced Consciousness Studies program. Reverends Ruth Barnhart and Joyce DeFalla, who not only speak here on Sundays, I see Ruth is here too, but they also regularly volunteer their time with us, which is so appreciated. And then finally, we also have the incredible Dr. Kim Kaiser, who was our education director for many, many years. He still speaks with us on Sundays, and we really appreciate that. Now, there's one person whose name I did not say yet. And I'm a little sneaky about it because did you know that tomorrow, January 1st, happens to be Dr. Edwards' 30th anniversary at our center as spiritual senior minister? So I just wanted to say I am astonished at how much love, commitment, and dedication and creativity, Dr. Edward, that you've shared here with our community. And I know that we would not be here today without you. And while I could stand up here all day and take up this entire service talking about all of the amazing things that you've done to impact not just me, but this whole community, I wanted to give our friend Chris Fritchie, who has known you far longer than I have, a chance to tell you what he thinks about you.
My dearest Edward, it's hard to believe you've been doing this for 30 years, and even harder to believe that I've been here for half of those 30 years. I wouldn't be standing here had you not had the gumption to hire a musician who had never directed a thing in his life. I'm grateful for our time doing this together, and I think everyone in this room hopes you have a few more years left in you. I do if you do.
So thank you, Dr. Edward. And by the way, you get to hear it all again in the second service too. So I know that somewhere between the music, the meditation, the prayer, the practices, and Dr. Edward's message today is exactly what you need to experience for the next step of your spiritual unfoldment. Please know that you are very, very welcome here. Now sit back and enjoy some music before a short time of silent contemplation and prayer.
I am whole, I am
What a special time coming together in recognition of that one, that presence that is always making itself known and felt, its actions, its words, through me, through all of life. And I recognize that my soul is welcome here. My wholeness is here, as is the wholeness, the soul of every single person in this room, every single person hearing my voice, everyone, everywhere, always. For Spirit Divine knows no distance. It is right here where we are at all times. And what a blessing it is to feel and realize that each day is a new beginning. And so as we prepare to say goodbye to 2023 and tomorrow write 2024 in our checkbooks, we still know that every single day is new and fresh in the divine, in spirit. And it's a glorious feeling. It's comforting. And it's so special. So I give great thanks for the newness of this day, knowing that this service comes together with beauty, with precision, with exactness, from the words that we hear spoken by our precious leaders and the music, that beautiful music from our band, and the efforts from every single person who is on staff and volunteers, and for every person who enters. As I look out and I see God looking back at me, and it is so precious and so heart-filled. And so I give thanks for this time that we have together. And with this feeling of gratitude, I simply release my word and invite you all to say with me, and so it is. Amen. Good morning. My name is Sherry Poole. I am one of the prayer practitioners here at our center, and I invite you now to join me in reading this morning's affirmation. I am made in the image of the divine, and I recognize this goodness in others. And so it is.
I want to live in the world and not inside my head. I want to live in the world. I want to stand and be counted with the hopeful and the willing, with the open and the strong, with the voices in the darkness, fashioning daylight out of song, and the millions of lovers alive in the world. I want to live in the world, not behind some wall. I want to live in the world where I will hear if another voice should call to the prisoner inside me, to the captive of my doubt, who among his fantasies harbors the dream of breaking out and taking his chances alive in the world. To open my eyes and wake up alive in the world. To open my eyes and finally arrive in the world. With its beauty and its cruelty, with its heartbreak and its joy, with its constantly giving birth to life and to forces that destroy, and the infinite power of change alive in the world. Open my eyes and wake up alive in the world. To open my eyes and finally arrive in the world. To open my eyes and wake up alive in the world. To open my eyes and finally arrive.
Thank you very much, and thank you for that lovely reminder that it's a 30-year anniversary for me tomorrow. Goodness gracious. And Reverend Russ did forget one name. He forgot himself. So thank you, Reverend Russ, for being here with us. And your recitation of all the people that helped make this happen caused me to think of our musicians too. We must acknowledge them as well. And of course, all of us do so well thanks to the power and commitment of our volunteers in the booth, welcoming in our youth and family, on our board of trustees. So also let us appreciate everyone who has volunteered to make our center what it is. Thank you, volunteers. All right. Ernest Holmes, our founder, he wrote these words: "The spark which burns at the center of our own soul is caught from the living and eternal flame of spirit." I love those words. And it's a reminder of what our focus has been this entire month, as well as other centers across our movement. We've been focusing on tuning into that inner spark of wholeness inside our own selves so that we can live from it. And also we've been recognizing it around us and in others as well, so that their example can inspire us as spiritual beings to recommit to being a presence of light in the world today. That's what we've been talking about. So this week I've been reading about stories, powerful stories of empathy and coexistence and the role of loving kindness and how that can play a role in this world of ours that is so burdened right now with struggle. And I read about one of my favorite actors, Keanu Reeves, who has a reputation for being a secret philanthropist. But you know how it is, those acts of kindness leak out into the public. For example, it's widely known now that he founded a private cancer foundation, but he didn't attach his name to it. And this foundation focuses on children's hospitals and research. He's also granted over, something like 200 wishes for children who have life-threatening diseases. He also supports animal advocacy projects, and he is famously generous to the people who work with him whenever he's making movies. Now, some people suggest that all of this good-naturedness comes from the struggles that he's been through and the tragedies that have been in his life. He lost his best friend, River Phoenix, to an overdose. His sister died from leukemia. His daughter was stillborn on Christmas Eve. 18 months later, the mother of his child died in a car crash. Now, we can't know what inspired all of his philanthropy, but perhaps we can assume that something caused him to want to help make the world a better place. Maybe in response to or because of the tragedies. Now, reading about him, I remembered this post I came across on social media titled "The Key to Happiness." And the creator said something very powerful. This is what she said. Here is the secret to life. The one and only you need to master. It's this. Do not be reactive. I love that. Because it matches our Science of Mind teaching, the one that invites us to be responsive to the world, not reactive to it. So rather than let setbacks, as real as they are, as real as the tragedies of Keanu's life are, to not let setbacks take us down into a rabbit hole of reactivity, and to instead drop a deep anchor into that spark within that Ernest wrote about, and respond with what we have at our disposal as best as we are able to contribute to our world. Because not everyone has the means to create a foundation, but we all have access to the inner flame of loving kindness. So maybe that will be my 2024 New Year's resolution. Do not become reactive, Edward. Instead, become intentionally responsive, because in my mind, that is the way to become the instrument of peace and loving kindness that I want to see in the world. Do not become reactive, despite everything and anything that is happening. And above all, do not let anything or anyone get me down. Now, as a practicing member of Centers for Spiritual Living, I wholeheartedly affirm that envisioning peace for the planet is important. And in my own journey, I strive to balance that inner work of imagining a world that works a little better for everyone with action that actually contributes to making that vision a reality. That's why I dedicated my life to teaching the science of mind, this teaching that inspires us not only to look inside our hearts and to examine what we are thinking and feeling, but also asks us to let our words and our actions match what we nurture in our hearts. That's why, as a community, every year we partner with 12 nonprofit partners who are doing work in the world to lighten the burden carried by so many in the world and to help translate our vision into reality. This year, 2023, we partnered with court-appointed social advocates, special advocates, Days for Girls International, Food for Thought Food Bank, Forget Me Not Farms, Interfaith Shelter Network, Jewish Community Free Clinic, Nuestra Comunidad, Petaluma People Services, Project Quetzal in Guatemala, Redwood Empire Food Bank, Sonoma County Acts of Kindness, and Sonoma Family Meals. And today, I'm feeling my gratitude for you who have helped it be possible to make those connections, and also my gratitude for these organizations who have been and are continuing to be the feet on the ground action of our vision, helping to create a world that works just a little bit better for somebody. Now, reading about Keanu inspired me to continue reading. I started looking for hopeful things that happened in 2023 because I wanted to tune into that enormous power of gratitude because I needed it this week. And I found a lot of it. Articles everywhere, from the Washington Post to Mashables to blog posts everywhere. And that there was so much out there tells me that other people are seeking the same. Here are some of the developments that caught my attention from 2023. Now, you may not agree that all of them are positive. Still, they tell the story of hope, and that brightness still persists in the world. 2023 marked a remarkable year for electric vehicles, with a significant increase in their adoption worldwide. Now, although this is not without its problems, the trend indicates a global increase in the awareness of sustainable energy use. And talking of which, and this is groundbreaking news, renewable energy in 2023 surpassed coal in the United States. And this shift not only signifies the move towards cleaner energy, but it tells the story of this emerging global dedication to reducing carbon emissions. It's good news. And solar energy also experienced a massive surge, as did wind power, notably in Texas, traditionally known for its dependency on oil. And these trends highlight this change in worldwide focus and our growing interest in the health of our planet. And talking about our planet, in 2023, the ozone showed signs of recovery again. And whatever the cause for that is, it's good news. As is the good news about air quality in the United States, in Europe, and in China as a result of focused, intentional pollution reduction. 2023 also showed movement in a number of places towards a little better treatment of the beings on our planet, like the bees, which in Europe are benefiting from a very focused and intensified effort to protect them by banning harmful pesticides. And that's important because of the crucial role that these little pollinators play in our entire ecosystem. And conservation initiatives have led to the recovery of several previously endangered species. In 2023, the Saiga deer, comes from the Central Asian steppes, is no longer classified as endangered. It's been declassified, along with almost a dozen Hawaiian birds, which when added together make up a list, quite a substantial list of species being declassified from the endangered species list. And there's this great story I read about the Sydney Harbour where 100 or maybe 200 tiny endangered seahorses were released, igniting hope for their recovery and survival. And although there is still a lot of work to do, still 90% of the species on the endangered list are still endangered, the seeds have been planted and continue to be planted. And 2023 was the 50th anniversary of the Endangered Species Act, a bipartisan effort to respond to declining populations. And did you know that it resulted in one of the most historic and amazing acts? Wolves were reintroduced to Yellowstone National Park, a species that is integral and vital to the whole ecosystem of that area. It's a very notable event. We also made considerable progress in responding to COVID. It's a hopeful sign of effective management of the pandemic. And this one is close to my heart. Returning cultural artifacts to their country of origin is now a thing. Who knew? And this trend represents an emerging movement toward rectifying historic wrongs. And it demonstrates a growing ethical consciousness around and about cultural appropriation. It's big. I also turned to one of my favorite sources, the Good News Network. I can always count on it to reorient my mind toward hope and the spark of light within, with its stories and with its news, such as this. And maybe you already knew this. I didn't know this. The Nature Conservancy has a project in Hong Kong where tons and tons of used restaurant oyster shells are collected weekly and used to restore oyster reefs, because it turns out oyster reefs are one of nature's best water purifiers. That's happening. Or the story of the Icelandic man who recovers stolen bikes. He never gets angry or calls the police on the thieves. He doesn't do that. In fact, the police call him, because he has developed a network among displaced and shelterless people. And here's how it happened. His bike was stolen, and he tracked it. He traced it down to a homeless encampment. And when he got there, he noticed police driving by doing absolutely nothing. So instead of reacting and becoming enraged, he decided to respond by getting involved. And so he started to talk to the people who took the bike and other bikes, and eventually, through relationship, he enrolled them in what is now, in 2023, a citywide bike recovery force, because they too wanted to create a better world. Now, this man's name is Viljoen. And in his experience, as he tells it, the bike thefts are primarily driven by addiction. People steal them to try and afford to pay for their drugs. So when he realized that, he pivoted his focus to helping some of them find the pathway to recovery. Oh, here's another story that happened in 2023. In Virginia, an Army veteran, Juan Serrano, he was returning home one night in the middle of winter from his church service when he noticed a distressed youth on the Appomattox Bridge. Is that how you say it? Appomattox? Yeah. There was this distressed teen on the bridge looking like he was going to jump. So he stopped to offer help, but the teen jumped. And then Juan did something that goes against all logic and is not advised. He jumped after the teen, plummeting some 50 feet to land in icy water in complete darkness. And he then had to use, I guess, his intuition or his instinct to swim through the dark and frigid water, struggling towards where he thought the teen might be. And when he did eventually get them, he creatively pulled his belt out and strapped it to the teen's backpack and dragged them both to safety. I know. Now, I read up about, the Good News Network and the beneficial trends of 2023, because I wanted to be reminded that in a world that is currently ravaged by war and misinformation and so much hatred, that simultaneously there continues to be a call to wholeness. That there are still people who are doing the best that they are able with what they have available to them to ease the suffering in this world. Now, this compilation of positive developments and inspiring stories is not to overshadow the work that still needs to be done in this world, but instead to replenish our optimism and energy so that we can breathe in and continue to answer the call. So I offer them to you to do with what you wish. Now, perhaps they will inspire you to think about your 2023 and its gifts that it brought to your life, as well as the challenges, so that when it does come time for you to look to the future, that you are filled from within, not only with somber humility, but importantly with deep connected gratitude, and above all, a renewed inclination to share that light within you with the world as best as you know how. I want to close this morning with a story that is a story of remarkable hope and struggle and gratitude from the depths of the ocean. And it's a story that is being shared in many of our centers this very morning throughout our movement. It's about a female humpback whale who in 2005 found herself ensnared in a labyrinth of crab traps and lines. She was burdened by the heavy weight, and it was dragging her down, and she was struggling to breathe, and she would die. Her tail was ensnared, her torso entangled in the lines, even her mouth was constrained by the ropes. And this all took place just off the Farallon Islands near the Golden Gate, just beyond the Golden Gate. And an angler noticed her distress and called for help. And a rescue team quickly came and assembled and understood immediately the gravity of the situation. And they realized that the only hope for her survival lay in a very risky, daring mission. They had to dive into the water and cut her free from the bindings. Now, the task was fraught with danger because a single flick of the whale's tail could prove to be fatal. Very powerful. But they were undeterred, and the rescuers, they plunged into the ocean, and they had these curved knives, and they embarked on the arduous task of cutting through the tense, thick entanglements. Hour after hour, they worked tirelessly until finally she was free. And the moment of her liberation was nothing short of miraculous, because the whale swam in exuberant circles, like in a dance of freedom in that vast ocean. But what followed was even more touching. She approached each rescuer one by one, with a gentle nudge and a soft push, like a gesture of thanks in the language of the ocean. Now, those who were there spoke of it as an unforgettable, profoundly moving experience. And one rescuer recalled how the whale's eye followed him as he worked to free her mouth. That moment of connection, he said, transformed him forever. And just the rehearing of the story is transformative back into the recollection of wholeness. Now, in this story and the others that I've shared, I find powerful messages of empathy and coexistence, and the reminder of the power of gratitude and the impact of loving kindness that truly transcends species and cultures and transcends all of those things that would act to separate us. To me, there are stories of interconnectedness of all life, and they stand for me as a reminder of the incredible capacity that we have to respond to the world, even when we want to react. To respond to the world, even when we are in the midst of intense struggle. Now, the whale story brings me to a moment of reflection, and I hope it does for you too. It causes me to pause and ask myself, what is it that I truly wish for every child, every adult, and every being in our world? And most importantly, what will I do in 2024 to respond to that desire so that I may contribute to a world that works just a little better? I invite you to take a breath in with me as we exhale to move into a moment of prayer. In the infinity of life where I am, all is present as spirit, the living spirit, Almighty, the source of all that is, the infinite, that which has never been created, which is always present and is persistently available. I identify myself with this power as being the source of who I am and the energy that causes me to be and to think and to create. Even these words are infused by it, as is each person in this room. And from this awareness of my unity with Spirit, I realize I am one with all life through our shared experience of our spiritual source. From this awareness, I realize that I have, as each one does, have the capacity to create, to respond, to renew, to express. And so I turn within to that flame, the eternal flame, the seat of consciousness within, the presence of compassion inside, so that I may attune myself in my words and deeds to its nature as I move about this world. I give thanks for this awareness, and with joy in my heart, I release this word into that aspect of the divine we call the law. Using these words, and I invite you to join me by saying, and so it is. Once again, a breath in, followed by a sigh. And with that breath, we make the transition to that part of our service in which we practice one of the teachings Reverend Russ read with us, spiritual circulation, which is a series of practices that include receiving, asking, forgiving, giving, gratitude, appreciation, all the things that keep us in the flow of life. And so this particular practice this morning is our opportunity to contribute to the center materially so that it can continue to stay open and be available an additional 30 years. I plan to stay that long. Some people give electronically. So many people have used our online versions of giving. There's so much information available for us on our website at cslsr.org/donate, as well as our text to give. And we'll leave this slide up in case you want to experiment with it. We can see the number of people increasing who use text to give. It's really lovely to watch. And those people who give electronically sometimes pick up this coupon so that they can drop it in the basket as it comes around as a symbol of the gift that they gave in another way. So that's really lovely. So I invite you to prepare your gift, or even if you don't have a coupon, you can just touch the basket as it comes by. And I invite the ushers to stand. And may I say thank you to the ushers. These ushers are actors, are greeters as well. And we have room for more. So if you'd like to be an usher greeter once a month, please check in at the information table and be part of our team of people who help welcome and receive the gift. And now won't you place your hand on your chest as a symbol of your heart connection to your center and say after me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does amazing work in the world. And so it is. Ushers, please receive the gift.
Beloved community, we gather in unity. All are welcome here, all are best, and a blessing to be. Beloved community, where we discover divinity, uncovering who we are in our beloved community. Doesn't matter where you've come from, it doesn't matter what you've undone. All that matters is you're here now. Keep an open heart, let Spirit work it out. what you've undone. All that matters is you're here now. So keep an open heart, let Spirit work it out. Beloved community, we gather in unity. All are welcome here, all are best, and a blessing to be. Beloved community, where we discover unity, uncovering who we are in our beloved community. Uncovering who we are in our beloved community.
Thank you for all the gifts that you share with us. Now, there's a lot going on in our community, but before I dive into that, I want to invite our friend Jennifer up to tell us all of the wonderful things that have been happening in our youth and family program.
Good morning. I am so excited to be up here again, and I love telling you guys what we do every month. And what I wanted to tell you about this last month was two things. One, we had a guest visitor come and give us a sound bath meditation with the little guys, and it was so neat. It's Jewel Shield. You may know her. She's been here before. We so appreciated her bringing that to us, and I was amazed at the calm that fell over all of the children as she played with the different sounds and tones. And she also allowed them to play her instruments, which was a beautiful share. So this to just say and invite anyone who has a special thing, a spiritual thing that you might want to bring in as a guest or just as a one-time, come share with us. You're welcome to do that. You don't have to commit to every Sunday. And the second thing I wanted to share with you is that teen camp, our teens are so excited. I don't know if you all know that it's in Vernonia, Oregon. And if you Google Maps, how far that is away from here, it's about 11 hours. So for 11 hours, I get to share space with some beautiful teens in my car, and and we're so excited about going. When I sat with the parents and had a parent meeting and with the teens, I said, who of you has ever been to camp, any kind of camp before? And of the kids who were there, only 2 raised their hand. Everyone else has never been to camp before. And they're just trusting that I'm taking them to something that will be wonderful. And I know it will be. And of those 2 that raised their hand, only 1 had ever been to CSL teen camp, which I thought was amazing. So all of the rest of the teens get to experience something brand new. And the one who's a seasoned vet gets to share and be in a leadership position this time. And so Lily Downs is the other teen advisor. So myself and Lily are the 2 adults in the car. She was helping greet everyone this morning and is back in the back there. So the 2 of us are gonna go on this trek, and it's in 2 weeks, not next. It's just 2 weeks away. So if in 2 weeks' time, when I'm not here and the teens aren't here, if you all can knuckle down and pray extra hard. Because we'll all be at camp. And then hopefully we'll have such a wonderful update to give you when I come back in January. So I'd like to just thank you and invite you to come check in if you have any other questions about the teen program or all of the other kiddos, or if you have something special you want to come share with us.
Thank you so much, Jennifer, and thank you, Lily, for also being one of our teen advisors. I know that's going to be wonderful. And you may not remember this, but 2 years ago, our center contributed to help purchase that camp in Oregon. We actually made a sizable contribution, and now Centers for Spiritual Living owns that camp so that we will always have a place where we can have teen camp, which is fabulous. So I'm really excited about that. All right, I've got a very important question for everyone here. Have you ever wanted to chart a new path for your life? Have you ever maybe struggled just a little bit with taking those first steps toward a new beginning? Well, I heard at least one yes. Well, I know that I have, and I have a solution: the spiritual practice of visioning. It has been an amazing tool for me on my own journey because it opens me up to the endless possibilities that Spirit has to share. It's kept me grounded in those infinite possibilities, and I've found that my life has truly been uplifted by this practice in so many ways. And so I would love for you to join me in visioning this Sunday coming up on January 7th at 1 p.m., where we will get to dive into that spiritual practice of visioning, which is really just checking in with that spirit within and finding out what is the wholeness that wants to make itself known for us throughout 2024. So we'll dive into a visioning practice for ourselves, for the whole community, and we get our craft on by making some vision boards to remind us throughout the year of all of the beauty and the brilliance and the excitement that those visions showed us. So you can sign up for this workshop on our website by clicking the photo of visioning. It actually says vision on it. And please be sure to register as soon as you can, because we're going to be ordering our poster board for those vision boards this week, and we want to make sure that we get enough for everyone. So be sure to sign up for that. And if you have any questions about that workshop, please feel free to ask me after service today. I'm happy to answer them for you. And I'm really looking forward to spending some fun visioning time with y'all. You're all going to sign up, right? Yes? All right, great. Now, we who live here in Sonoma County know that we have some incredible musicians and some incredible music here. And I am so excited to announce that our center is finding its way into being a part of that music scene, because we are bringing back Mangalananda, our resident kirtan master, on Sunday, January 28th. So yeah, just a month away. And that's going to be at 4 p.m., and we'll have a full kirtan concert from Mangalananda as he helps us all to remember that spirit within through inspiring music. So we really look forward to having him back here. And the music is not ending there. We are also bringing back Karen Drucker. You know who she is, right? For a very sweet Wednesday evening Valentine's Day music and spoken word experience on Wednesday, February 14th at 7 p.m. And we love Karen so much, and I know that Valentine's Day is going to be filled with love, music, poetry, and community. Now, we also have a lot of classes and workshops coming up, and have you ever wondered how spiritual principles might relate to your finances? Well, did you know that both giving and receiving actually are a spiritual practice? Well, if you didn't, you'll find out in Dr. Edwards' upcoming spiritual circulation class that's being offered both in person here at the center and on Zoom. And you can find more details by clicking on the photo of the wheel on our website. And best of all, if you filled out a giving intention form for 2024, you can take this class at no charge. And best of all, you can still fill out a giving intention form. Today is the last day for 2024. So if you haven't and you want to take this class for free, I encourage you to do that. I know it's going to be an amazing experience with Dr. Edward. And you can also sign up for that on our website. If you happen to be the sort of person like I am and you love body-centered healing tools, you also have an opportunity to check out our upcoming Jinsen Jitsu workshop that's being led by Donna Lamke on Sunday, January 21st from 1 to 3 p.m., where you'll learn about this powerful body-centered healing modality and how it can help you to uplift your life. And just click on the photo of the hand with a rainbow on it on our website. Trust me, you'll know what it looks like when you see it. And then that following Tuesday, January 23rd, Reverend Scioto Bell is going to be leading our core class, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. So there's quite a lot going on, and you can click on that photo of the clouds on our website to find out about that class. And ask Reverend Scioto, too, if you're here at our second service, is when she's usually here. She'll tell you all about it. Phew. It's a lot going on. So you probably noticed at this point that we've got so much going on here, and because of all of these events, we also have an opening for a part-time events coordinator. If you are a detail-oriented person and you love making powerful and amazing events happen, we would love to talk with you. So if you'd like more information about that position, check in with Linda Han at our information desk after service, or you can click on the image of the clocks on our website. Finally, I want to let you know today is the last day for you to get some of that art that's out in the social hall. And we've got some good news for you. Today, that art is 50% off. So if you've been hearing that little call, take me home, take me home, take me home from the art, now is your time to take it home. And you can talk with Linda. I believe our art team is out there. Bob Hart is here today. So if you see something that catches your eye, please take it home with you. They all want to go home to a good home. That's what they've been telling me all week long. And today is also the last day for you to buy raffle tickets to win that beautiful quilt out in our social hall that was created by our Project Sleepwarm team, who are using that quilt and the raffle to fundraise to buy the batting that they put into these quilts to give out to the unsheltered here in Sonoma County so that they can be warm. So that drawing is going to be held after our second service today, so you do still have time to buy 1 million raffle tickets. Okay, that's all that I have. Have a wonderful week.
Wow. That's a lot. Thank you. Thank you to everybody who helps create such a vibrant community. And now if there is something that is incomplete in you, or if you cried yourself to sleep last night, or if you have just something you want to celebrate and you'd like more support in having more of it in your life, please do not go home without taking advantage of our prayer service online in a Zoom room, details on our website, or in-house, in person. Just go to the back of the sanctuary and the host will connect you with one of our prayer practitioners. They'll sit with you, receive your request, and create a spiritual mind treatment, an affirmative prayer specially tailored for you. And now won't you please stand as you are able, saying, something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind, life is in my body, and life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, and I accept it, just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Know with me that you are never alone, that Spirit is right where you are, that you have only to look within at any moment to know that you are guided, sustained, and empowered by a presence that expresses itself as you in this world. In deepest gratitude, let us live our lives accordingly, so that in everything that we do and say and think, we honor this presence within. And so it is. Thank you so much for being here. Let us close our service in song.
I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm